Constrain. To constrain something means to limit its development.
Jim cannot join us because he is constrained by previous plans.
Depot. A depot is a bus or train station.
He waited for his mother to arrive at the depot.
Emulate. To emulate people means to imitate them because they are greatly admired.
As a small boy, he always tried to emulate his big brother.
Forefinger. The forefinger is the finger between one's thumb and middle finger.
He shouted, "There it is," and pointed with his forefinger.
Guts. The guts are all the organs inside a person or animal.
The doctor can tell you every process that happens in one's guts.
Inherent. When something is inherent, it is a natural part of something else.
Sweating is an inherent bodily function when exercising.
Intimidate. To intimidate means to frighten others.
My dad intimidates my friends whenever they visit.
Janitor. A janitor is a person who makes repairs and takes care of a building.
The school janitor cleaned up the messy cafeteria.
Moist. When something is moist, it is slightly wet.
The ground is still moist from the rain last night.
Nope. Nope is an informal way of saying no.
He asked if I had any money, and I had to say nope.
Prod. To prod means to push someone or something with a finger or pointed object.
The bully prodded me in the chest with his finger.
Ransom. A ransom is a sum of money paid to a kidnapper to set the person free.
He kidnapped the prince and demanded $1 million as ransom.
Restrain. To restrain someone or something means to use physical strength to stop them.
Mike restrained Alan from reaching the door.
Saliva. Saliva is the watery liquid in people's mouths that helps in digestion.
The baby could not keep the saliva from dripping out of its mouth.
Spit. To spit means to force liquid from one's mouth.
He emerged from the pool and spit water from his mouth.
Sprint. To sprint means to run very fast over a short distance.
The kids didn't want to be late to class, so they sprinted to the bus stop.
Stunt. A stunt is something that is done in order to get attention or publicity.
The man jumped over the cars as a promotional stunt.
Tolerant. When people are tolerant, they are approved of because they accept others.
The tolerant leader thought that everyone was equal, regardless of race.
Vampire. A vampire is a fictional monster that sleeps in a coffin and sucks people's blood.
The vampire snuck up on the woman and bit her in the neck.
Yawn. To yawn means to open one's mouth wide and breathe in air.
The child yawned and stretched her arms before bed for the night.
Analogy. An analogy is a connection made between things to show that they are similar.
The doctor made an analogy between the human heart and a water pump.
Ancestry. A person's ancestry is the series of people from whom a person descended.
We studied our ancestry and found out that we are related to royalty.
Archer. An archer is a person who uses a bow and arrows.
The expert archer hit the target every time.
Conspiracy. A conspiracy is a secret plan made by a group of people to do something illegal.
Some people think that there was a conspiracy to kill American President John Kennedy.
Deputy. A deputy is the second highest ranking person in a business or government.
While the sheriff was ill, the deputy took over his duties.
Earl. An earl is a nobleman from Britain.
The Earl of Canterbury lived in a huge mansion.
Fragrant. When something is fragrant, it has a pleasant smell.
The girl picked delicious berries and fragrant flowers.
Funnel. A funnel is an object with a wide top and a narrow bottom for pouring liquids.
The worker used a funnel when he poured the oil into the engine.
Hereditary. If something is hereditary, it is a trait passed on to children from their parents.
The hereditary disease affected 3 generations of children.
Hymn. A hymn is a religious song that often praises a god.
The book was filled with hymns that the worshippers sang.
Invert. To invert something means to turn it upside down.
He inverted the bicycle to make repairs on the wheels.
Prey. Prey is the animals that are hunted and eaten by another creature.
The lion ran as fast as he could to catch his prey.
Procession. A procession is a group of people who walk or drive in a line during a public event.
The procession all celebrated when they reached the end.
Prophet. A prophet is a person chosen by a god to give the god's message to people.
Harold believed that he was one of the prophets of his god.
Sarcastic. When something is sarcastic, it is the opposite of what is actually meant.
She hurt her mother's feelings with her constant sarcastic remarks.
Seasoning. Seasoning is a mix of salt, herbs, and spices that improves the taste of food.
This steak tastes bland. Maybe I'll add some seasoning to it.
Sodium. Sodium is an element that can be used to make substances such as salt.
Sodium and chloride combine to make table salt.
Tyranny. A tyranny is a cruel and unfair government in which one person has power.
His tyranny was impossible to live under.
Tyrant. A tyrant is someone who treats people in a cruel, harsh, and unfair way.
Our boss is a tyrant. He makes us work long hours for little pay.
Vinegar. Vinegar is a strong liquid made from sour wine that is used in cooking.
Be careful because too much vinegar will ruin the recipe.
Adjoining. If something is adjoining, it is next to or joined with a building or room.
I couldn't sleep because the people in the adjoining room were loud.
Allege. To allege something is to say that it is true without offering proof.
The little girl had alleged that her older brother hid her favorite doll.
Arch. An arch is a curved opening formed under a structure such as a bridge or doorway.
The arch of the bridge was not high enough for the tall boat to pass underneath.
Assemble. To assemble means to get together in one place.
The parents assembled to discuss ways to improve their children's education.
Casualty. A casualty is a person killed or injured in a war or an accident.
The only casualty in the car accident was a woman who broke her arm.
Erect. To erect something means to build it.
The king erected 2 towers on the north and south sides of his castle.
Foul. If something is foul, then it is not pleasant or enjoyable.
He wouldn't let his dog drink from the water because it had a foul smell.
Hectare. A hectare is a unit of measure equal to 10,000 square meters.
His family farm covered many hectares.
Heighten. To heighten an emotion means to increase the intensity of it.
The pleasant music heightened their enjoyment of the wonderful dinner.
Hospitality. Hospitality is friendly behavior and entertainment given to guests or strangers.
The travelers were amazed at the hospitality given them by the hotel staff.
Mansion. A mansion is a large and expensive home.
The mansion had 30 bedrooms, 2 kitchens, and a pool.
Outnumber. To outnumber a group means to have a greater number than it.
The girls outnumbered the boys at the school by 4 to 1.
Overjoyed. If someone is overjoyed, then they are extremely happy.
He was overjoyed by the news of his promotion.
Pasture. A pasture is an area of land covered with grass for animals to use as food.
The sheep were taken to a pasture where there was more grass.
Petition. A petition is a written request asking an authority to do something.
The citizens all signed a petition asking the mayor to repair the sidewalks.
Renovate. To renovate a building means to repair it or build new structures on it.
The old fire station was renovated into an apartment building.
Revise. To revise something means to change or update it to make it better.
When the editor discovered certain facts were wrong, he revised the book.
Slab. A slab is a large, thick, flat piece of stone, concrete, metal, or wood.
I looked at various slabs of stone to decorate my house.
Terrace. A terrace is an open area that is connected to a house or an apartment.
In the afternoons, she liked to sit on the terrace and check her email.
Turf. Turf is a section of grass and the dirt in which it grows.
After the game, the turf looked ragged.
Analogous. If something is analogous to another thing, then it is like it in certain ways.
The relationship with his teacher was analogous to that of a son and mother.
Binoculars. Binoculars are a device used for seeing things that are far away.
He could see the ship on the horizon only if he used his binoculars.
Bulk. The bulk of something is its great size.
The large elephant moved its bulk with legs as strong as tree trunks.
Comprise. If something comprises something else, it consists of or is made up of it.
Our school's football team is mostly comprised with seniors.
Depict. To depict something means to show or portray it, often using art.
The statue's face depicted the general's determination and courage.
Dual. If something is dual, then it is made up of two parts.
The room had a dual function. It was a living room, but at night it was a bedroom.
Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit temperature is a scale where water freezes at 32 degrees and boils at 212 degrees.
When the temperature dropped at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, it started snowing.
Fulfill. To fulfill something means to achieve or finish it.
The professor did not fulfill his promise not to miss a single class.
Grove. A grove is a small group of trees.
All the trees in this grove are apple trees.
Ore. Ore is the raw form of rock or material from which a valuable metal is taken.
The factory melted the ore and used it to make iron products.
Outback. The outback is the wild inland region of Australia where very few people live.
Many Australian farmers use the outback to raise cattle.
Outweigh. To outweigh something means to exceed it in value, amount, or importance.
Finding a warm place to sleep outweighed the need to find something to eat.
Paradox. A paradox is a true statement or real event that seems illogical.
The paradox of her work was that the less she worked, the more she got done.
Pier. A pier is a structure that extends into a body of water.
If you want to catch bigger fish, then go to the far end of the pier.
Shortcut. A shortcut is a route that is shorter than the main route.
We got to the house first because we took a shortcut through the forest.
Tariff. A tariff is a tax or fee paid on certain imports or exports.
Our tariff on imported wool makes foreign wool more expensive.
Thermometer. A thermometer is a device that measures temperature.
The thermometer outside the window indicated that it was a hot day today.
Tilt. To tilt something means to tip it into a sloping position.
She tilted her glass and almost spilled some of the wine inside.
Vice versa. If a statement is vice versa, then its two main ideas are switched with one another.
Students learn from their teachers and vice versa.
Whereabouts. The whereabouts of someone or something is the place where they are.
The police looked for the lost dog, but its whereabouts were still unknown.
Amber. Amber is a hard, yellowish material that comes from trees.
The necklace was made from pieces of amber.
Charcoal. Charcoal is a black material that is used as fuel for fire.
There was burnt charcoal left on the ground from an old fire.
Columnist. A columnist is a writer who creates articles about a particular subject.
The columnist won praise for his articles about life on the farm.
Courteous. When someone is courteous, they are polite and respectful.
The mother asked her family to be courteous to their guests.
Credentials. Credentials are the proof of someone's experience or ability to do something.
The mechanic hung his credentials on his office wall.
Cricket. A cricket is an insect that makes loud noises, usually at night.
In the country, we could see the stars and hear the crickets at night.
Delta. A delta is a flat area where a river splits into smaller rivers that flow into the sea.
The archaeologists found many ancient materials in the delta of the Nile River.
Detergent. Detergent is soap that is used to clean clothes or dishes.
My brother added too much detergent to the wash and bubbles got all over the floor.
Euphemism. A euphemism is a term that is used in place of a mean or unpleasant word.
Window maintenance officer is a euphemism for a window washer.
Expire. To expire is to no longer be effective because its use has come to an end.
The man's driver's license was going to expire in 2 days.
Granite. Granite is a very hard type of rock that is often black or pink.
The kitchen counter was made of granite.
Gravel. Gravel is a combination of small stones mixed with sand.
The ground around the swing set was covered with gravel.
Haunt. To haunt is to cause problems or negative thoughts over a long period of time.
His thoughts about his scary dream haunted him for weeks.
Liberal. When someone is liberal, they accept different ideas and people.
My grandparents aren't as liberal as my parents.
Maze. A maze is a system of paths that is complicated and easy to get lost in.
We got lost in the maze in the garden.
Moss. Moss is a small green or yellow plant that grows on wet dirt, rocks, or tree trunks.
Be careful not to slip on the moss that's covering those rocks.
Pebble. A pebble is a small round stone.
We threw pebbles into the lake to make the water splash.
Peck. When a bird pecks, it bites or hits something with its beak.
The birds pecked at the seeds on the ground.
Reservoir. A reservoir is a place for storing water for a town to use.
If it doesn't rain soon, the reservoir is going to dry up completely.
Streak. A streak is a long, thin mark that is easy to see.
Her hair was brown except for a streak which she dyed blonde.